Hey, what's up, Hilo News family? Welcome to another episode of Can We Talk? Y'all, excuse me, I was drinking my green juice and got all coughed up. So let's start that again. Hey, Harlow News family. Welcome to another episode of Can We Talk? Our show where we talk to dope people in the community doing dope things. And today is no different. Y'all know I go hard for Carroll City and anything CC, Miami Gardens, I'm going to go hard for. So today is such a special day because a fellow chief is in the house with me. And I've been wanting to have her on the show for a long time because she's been doing amazing things in the dance and performing arts space. And it took her all the way to New York on Broadway and work with the icon. I'm gonna let her tell it. I ain't gonna say no more. Welcome to the show, Miss Brittani, the founder of High Rise Performing Arts. Hey, Brittani.
Yes, Carroll City
Yes.
all day. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited. Like you said, it's been a long time coming, so I'm happy we both have time on our schedules to talk and chop it up real quick.
Yes, thank you so much for joining the show and always being a supporter, of High Low News, even behind the scenes, giving me motivational words and just checking in. And I just want to say this publicly because it'll be random days. You don't even know, like some days, like literally one of the days you hit me up, I was like, I'm about to fucking quit this shit. I'm not doing no more High Low News. And you literally were like, keep going. I see you, just keep. And those messages and those things and those check-ins are so valuable to me and so amazing. And so I just want to say thank you and give you your flowers in public as well as, privately, I tell you, but
Yes.
definitely say thank you.
Well, you are so welcome. It's never nothing. Like it's always coming from my spirit and my heart. And I mean everything I say to you, girl. Like when I tell you, every time you post something, I'll be so excited and all this other. I'll be like, yes, this is what I'm talking about right here. Yes, I'm telling you, say it, entertainment input. Yes, that's what I'm talking. Girl, I'd be so hyped. I'd be so happy.
Thank you so much for being a supporter of local Black-owned media of High Low News. And I am a big fan just like you. I'm following what you're doing with High Rise Performing Arts and seeing these amazing things that you're doing with these young women. And man, like, I want you to start and really share your story with people because I think it's such an amazing thing, like what you've built over the years. Crazy thing is this, I started seeing people's kids performing with High Rise, and I'm like, man, these kids are really talented. Come to find out, like when I first started seeing it pop up all the time on my timeline, not knowing that it was you. When I found out, I was like, oh my gosh, Brittani is doing this with these kids. Girl, tell me about your story. How did you get started in dance? Because here's the thing, I didn't know you danced. Like I didn't even know you danced in high school. So how did you get started in dance and performing arts?
Well, I started at the age of 6, so I've been dancing basically all my life. Started dancing in elementary and singing actually too. So I sing and
That's
dance.
what I was thinking. I was like, I know you sing. I know,
Right, because you see me at some little events,
yeah.
and yeah. So I sing and dance, and it was always like a torn in between the two. So I ended up doing both, and really started my career at the African Heritage Center, after the Cultural Arts Center, that's in Liberty City, and ever since then it just took off. I've been from there. I went to Norland Middle where I danced with Miss Trujillo and stuff and met a lot of wonderful people. From there I went to Carroll City where I then got into the marching band, majorette style dancing, and I was captain my senior year. Woo woo, one time for that.
Hey.
So I definitely enjoyed my time as a diamond dancer at Carroll City. That was some of the best fun I've ever had in my life. From there is when, once I graduated high school, I did like some Dolphin cheerleader auditions and Miami Heat auditions. But when that didn't work out for me, I knew that I wanted to do things for myself. I wanted to open up my own company. I've been dancing. I've danced with Tracy Young. I've danced with Shannon Hayes with Diva Arts. I've danced with a lot of people in my, as I'm the learning stages and stuff. So I've trained with the best in the business. So for me, it was just me adding to the community, adding to that what I've been brought up in, because they are still thriving and successful in their companies as well to this day. So to be able to be a student with them and then grow up and to have my own, that was always a dream of mine because that's what I've seen them do. So I just chose to start. Like sometimes you just have to go for it. Everything can't always be in a row. You're not going to have all the money saved up. You have to just start. And that's what I did. I was working in human resources at the time, and I just chose to have an interest meeting. And I said, I want to have an interest meeting. And my good friend at the time. She let me rent her banquet hall out, and I was able to start my dance classes at the banquet hall right on 20. It
Wow.
was Champions, but then it turned into something else. So I was in that banquet hall right by the Wingstop. And
Oh, on
I started
27?
with, yes, on 27.
Oh,
So I started in there with 12 dancers. And I just was like, we just gonna go. We just gonna do it. And whoever come. And before you know it, like God just moved. And I started getting more people and more people. So I always tell the story like had the interest meeting in February. I started in March, like my first classes was in March, and I moved into our another building in April.
wow.
So it went like month to month to month. I was elevating month to month, and then from there, it just grew. And God just was sending people from all over. I wasn't even promoting sometimes because you have to learn it when you're an entrepreneur. You have to learn how to
Yeah.
promote. You got to stay on social media. You got to post, do ads and stuff. So you know they were just coming from nowhere. They were just coming from everywhere. Like y'all hiring. I mean, y'all have registration. Y'all doing registration? Yes, we are. Come on. Even though I said we closed, no, we doing registration. And one thing that sets me apart from, just a regular dance company is we're about youth empowerment. So it's not just about the coins. It's more so about helping our community, helping to like most of my girls that started with me, they thought twerking was the thing to do and that was it. And I was like, no, there's more to dance than just twerking and having a good
Technique,
time.
yes.
It's time to train. It's time to learn other areas of dance, other ways you can use dance outside of just in the club. And so to be honest, outside of in the club and what they see on social media, because what they were
Mhm.
seeing on social media was twerk, 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 booty, 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 and da 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 da. So that's ultimately what some children look up to. So it was my, goal to kind of stir that and see the beauty in yourselves. Like love your 4C hair the way it is. You don't have to cover it up with a style. Love your hair. Just because it's not hanging down here doesn't mean that you don't have good hair. Love you for you. And so one of the things that I do with the dancers after every rehearsal is we have positive mantras. So we'll say, I am smart, I am beautiful, I am talented, I'm a great dancer, I'm your friend, I'm your sister, and I'm a high riser every rehearsal, to the point where now my older girls created their own mantras and stuff.
Mm.
So just seeing the love in themselves, how to compliment one another, how to have positive conversations and honest conversations, because you're not going to like everything somebody do, but that doesn't mean you have to be disrespectful about it. So
Yeah.
just teaching them how to not be shy in front of other Black girls or other girls, period, their age. So that was just the goal. And right now
What year did you begin and how many girls did you begin with?
we started with 12 girls in February at the interest meeting. And then we moved, like by the time we started in
No.
March,
What year was this? Like
oh,
how many years
sorry,
have you been in business?
2018.
Wow,
So
that's a relatively short time.
yeah, so we're on our 5th year. March 5th will mark our 5-year anniversary. So we're definitely doing everything big this year. We have some stuff coming up that we're just taking it to the next level. Like for me, I teach my girls, um, the sky is not the limit. You can do literally whatever you put your mind to. You want to do it, do it. And I want to create a safe space, which we have created the safe space for our girls to come and dance or act or sing or do
Yeah,
gymnastics.
I
Like
saw that you were offering different, guest type of performing arts
yeah,
classes now.
yeah. So we're building and expanding. We're doing gymnastics now regularly. We're doing drama. Now we have the amazing Sarah Grissel, who
Saw
is
that. I love
all over
Sarah.
the place. Oh, I
That's my
love Sarah.
pageant sister. We
Oh
did
my
Miss Miami
God.
Gardens together. Yes.
Oh, she is amazing. I love
So
her.
talented.
She's like her energy, her spirit is just amazing. So to have her a part of the company and for her to take time to help us out was just a blessing. So I'm happy about that. And then my sister Ebony is a part, and she helps with the drama program. And my partner Morgan, she does the gymnastics and the dance. So it's kind of like we have Carissa, who is also our instructor. She does the point because we offer point now for our girls, which is very important because I'm all about breaking barriers. Like
Mhm.
when we go to competitions, it's predominantly white. So that means that there's a mold already set.
Yeah.
I feel like my purpose is all about breaking the mold. And if we can't break the mold within, we got to do it out. And we have to do it for our own, and basically like setting up our own table that we can offer other people to have seats at. It don't necessarily mean we have to conform ourselves to whatever the normal standard is. We have our own standard, you know? So sometimes, you know, we move different, you know, we move
Yes,
different. Our bodies are different, and there's nothing wrong with that. However, I don't want to train my girls to conform to what society says you're supposed to be. There's nothing wrong with your lips, nothing wrong with your butt, it's nothing wrong with your hips, there's nothing wrong with your hair. Be you. Because in all of that, in all of what society is saying you can't do and what you're supposed to look like, there's talent inside that
yes.
needs to be seen. So it's not really about that. It's just about loving yourself. And that's what we're here to do. Empower our girls at the end of the day to be who you truly are and tap into the true potential of yourself, not just with dance, but in life.
I like that. And I love that you have this self-love at the cornerstone of what you're doing. How many girls has your company grown to, and has that journey been like to grow your company to the point that it is today?
We're now at 80 girls
Wow.
currently with us right now. Um, and then we've been as high as 100 girls. So, you know, we go up, but we haven't been under 80 in years. So that's a blessing within itself. I'm definitely shout out to all the high rise parents, high rise
And is this something
supporters.
that you do full time?
Yes, this is something that
Wow.
I do full time. I actually took that leap of faith and resigned from my job, my human resources position in I want to say 2020, either 2019 or 2020. And it was just time, and it was like a now or never situation. And it was just, it's funny because it was right around the pandemic time. So I want to say it was 2020. And then we had a recital in February. Then the pandemic started after that, right? So I resigned from my job that was paying me regularly. And then as soon as I resigned and made this full time, we moved into a bigger location, which was like in the same plaza but a bigger suite. And as soon as that happened, COVID started and we couldn't
Wow.
have classes. And it was truly a test of faith of, you know, you took
Wow.
this leap, but now I'm gonna limit your clientele. So we went from like 50 girls to now we at like 30. And that's like 20 dancers short. And then we were trying to accommodate the dancers with having like we were doing 4 dancers at a time. So remember, you had to like socially distance. So we were doing 4 dancers at a time, trying to accommodate everybody to still have an outlet during the pandemic. And we had the police get called on us, and it was just
What?
yes, they shut us down. So then we had to do virtual classes. Then some of the dancers were losing interest in the virtual classes, so we had to innovate and figure something out. And then we finally was able to reopen, and it
How long were you guys your location closed?
we were closed, I want to say, for about 6 to 9 months. We were closed and just doing virtual classes. And outside of that, it was the stress and the worry and the, you know, you're always thinking, especially when you're taking that big leap of faith, you're thinking about, okay, am I going to have enough to pay my bills? Am I going to do this? Am I going to do that? Especially when your norm has been a consistent pay. So it's definitely was not an easy decision to make. It was not an easy journey, but it was worth it because
Yeah.
now it built me up to allow people in. Like Morgan did not start out, you know, as my partner. She grew into that, and that came from me because I was doing everything by myself. I was doing the recital program, the tickets, the organizing, the everything by myself to the point where my friends were like, "Girl, you're not getting help from nobody, like nothing." So, and I was like, "No," because when I used before I opened my dance company, I was doing adult classes and I was renting studios out and stuff like that. And sometimes I don't know what it is, but it just was not a good experience as far as, you know, you have the jealousy, you have the people that, you know, that just try to do this and that. And I just had to be, I'm a Leo. I had to be in control. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I had to be in control. I couldn't wait on somebody else to tell me this. I had to just take that leap. And I had to kind of have a rebirth. And that journey started with letting other people in to help me. So I had to pray for discernment to know who to trust, who to let in, because you let the wrong people in, that
Yeah.
could very well mess up everything for you, or you tell somebody, the wrong person, the right things, and they go off and run with it. So it's like with Morgan's help, I have Shanice who also helps me, Carissa that helps me, Sarah that helps, and Ebony. It all came together like as a team. Like we just formed a team and it just works. And
all of this came together during the pandemic when you guys were
well,
like,
Sarah and Ebony no, but Morgan and Carissa and Shanice, all of them came together during the pandemic time. So Morgan came around the time when they called the police and had a shutdown. So she was
wow.
like, "No, see, this is it. I'm stepping in, and we're gonna." And she has been a blessing, like blessing to the point where now, like we are partners. Like we have no other choice because she's like my left hand, I'm her right, yin yang. That's like it just flows like that way. And then you got the landlord, so you're not making as much as you was before the pandemic. The landlords cared nothing about that. They was like, okay, I understand there's a pandemic going on. However, still need my people, which rightfully so. A business is a business, but when you're working with the people and your funds is coming from the people, you need more people in order to make money. So it was just that journey was very rocky because there was a lot of uncertainty. There was a lot of fasting that went on. There was a lot of praying. There was a lot of, okay, God, so what next? Because it was just a scary experience to have to go through COVID, trying not to catch COVID, trying to decide to get the vaccine for COVID, then got to go and get tested for COVID, then got to deal with, I just left my job. So then there's that.
So what did you do to kind of like get through that period of time?
To be honest, I cried, I prayed, I kept promoting, I kept pushing, I kept recording these girls performing, even if it was just me recording the computer and showing that our girls are doing virtual. This is what we're doing today. Anything that we do, I'm announcing it in a big way. Like it has to be grand because these girls are grand. Everybody that comes through High Rise doors, whether you're a parent or a student, which I don't even call them dancers or students. I call them high risers. I call them celebrities because to me, they are world renowned. They are famous. And I'm speaking things over them to the point where now they done developed that themselves. Like, they're like, Miss Brittany, this girl asked me today am I a high riser? And I was like, yes, I feel famous. I said, I told you.
Oh, I love that.
I told you. And just like overall, and that's from the babies and up. Like I go as young as 3 all the way up to adults. So I'm telling my 3-year-olds, you are important, you are special, you are a celebrity. You know that? And as soon as I say that, something about that word that just get them, you're right. I do know that. Let me go over here and do like it's just
I love that. And I want to ask you about, because when I saw this and it came through the pandemic, so like correct me if I'm wrong, but speaking of celebrity, you guys got to work with an icon during the pandemic, didn't you? Can you tell me about can you tell me about working with Debbie Allen?
Yes,
and how that came to be? I was hoping you didn't spill it out before I could ask the question, but tell us about Debbie Allen.
Debbie Allen was an amazing experience. Like our girls in Carroll City got to perform and rehearse and understand the logic of the Debbie Allen. So for me, like the communication actually started with Morgan.
The impact of that. Like, do they know who Debbie Allen is?
I don't think that they understand it right now. I think that as they get older and they look back, because half of the stuff that high risers are doing, I was not doing and not because of like, not in a negative way, but like half of the experiences that come our way, like half the time we're not even looking for it, to be honest with you. So it's like, what? Like, where does this come from? And Morgan was talking about a certain program that she was doing, and we was actually talking to another parent, and she out of nowhere mentioned her. Nothing about what we did, but just mentioned her. Next thing you know, we received a call, and it said Debbie Allen Dance Company or whatever it said. We sing Debbie Allen, and baby, I was like, answer the phone, answer the phone, answer the phone.
Wait, the caller ID said Debbie Allen?
Yes, on the phone. Like I had screenshotted and posted it. And because we were like communicating with like somebody on her team in regards to something else, like something completely different, an idea that we had that we wanted to do later on, but like in years to come. So around that time, around the pandemic time, we reached out to them about something unrelated to what we did. And so now fast forward to last year where they reached out to us, and I was like, we literally almost missed the call. I was like, answer the phone, answer the phone.
So what was this program, and what is it that you guys were
So
doing with Debbie Allen?
what we did with Debbie Allen was they basically enrolled, like they were a part of her company. They got to train with world renowned, like I think the voice coach did voice coaching for the cast of Encanto. We worked with Debbie Allen herself. Like when I say like we've seen every aspect of Debbie Allen, we were in her, it was called Rise. So we were in her Rise program, where it was a musical theater program where we learned every aspect of the business and how it is up there in California.
So was it for you, or was it for the students?
It was for the students. It was
Oh,
definitely
okay. So they learned all these things
yes,
through her RISE program,
correct. So they basically
partnering with you.
yes. So
And
we
were they virtual, or were they in
some of
California?
them went to California and some of them stayed and did virtual. And one of our dancers, Zaria Allen, she actually went up there for the actual performance, and the rest of our girls did virtual. But she did go up there and she performed in person, took a picture with Debbie Allen and everything. Girl, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so jealous. I want to take a picture with her. But it was amazing, and it was an amazing experience. They offered the opportunity to us again, so I can't wait to spin the block with other, high risers that would love to go this time. And I'm just so happy. Like even we did NASCAR, we performed for the pre-race show at NASCAR, and that was a shock too because she said, I watched your social media and I love everything that you're doing.
Miss Allen was saying this?
Miss Allen, no, the people with NASCAR. So
okay.
The NASCAR event, they had found us through social media and loved everything that we were doing. And that so we ended up performing at NASCAR, which was another experience in itself that I was not thinking about NASCAR, but that's not an opportunity that you want to pass up. And it was those two things kind of set us up for what we did in New York. And that it just all came together. And Debbie Allen that was an amazing experience. Like just to talk to her, just to see her talk to her on the phone, and just to see her on the camera, instructing high risers, like not just anybody, but high risers. Like that's a big sentence in itself.
Did Miss Allen give you any advice, or or was there anything that you learned from that experience from working with Miss Debbie Allen?
Her advice, one of the things that she did say to me was to just keep going. Like even when you feel like it's not going to happen, make it happen. And that's one of the things that I carry with myself and how I am and, how I operate. And I just keep going. From the experience, it taught me a lot, and the girls a lot, about show business and how it is in California and Hollywood and how it works. It's definitely a faster speed than it is in Miami. Like they're like, you show up at 4, okay, now we got something else to do at 4:45, and then at 5, and then so it was definitely an eye opener, and it gave everyone involved a glimpse of how it is when you make it to Hollywood and when you make it to California, because that is that's everybody's dream in show business, to make it to that point and be on Beverly Hills and be the star and all that other stuff. So it really helped them to see that you can do this. You can have a career in show business. You can take your talents that you're learning in High Rise, that you're learning with Debbie Allen, and take it out into the world and be what you want to be and exactly who you want to be.
I love that. And so you mentioned New York, and I saw your post as well about going and performing on Broadway and performing in Times Square. Tell me about that situation as well, and how that came about.
Oh my gosh.
And what you guys had to do once you got to New York.
So New York was very exciting. We actually first we did Disney, and we performed at Disney World, and from there we got invited to perform in New York. So
So what was all of this connected to? Did you just get a random call one day and say, come perform at Disney? Or like what was that
So
process like?
we get emails all the time from different people all around, whether they want us to advertise or do this or anything. So we did receive an email from them. We looked into what they offer, and we was like, oh, this would be a great opportunity. And
Yeah.
so we opened it up to everyone, and they were allowed to come, and they came, and we first went to Orlando,
How
and
many dancers did you take with you?
we took about the first time. I want to say we took 20. It was like 20 girls the first time with New York. That was, I want to say we took about 12 girls. So it was definitely an experience, New York. So once we finished with Orlando, they did invite us to come to New York to perform on Broadway stage. Once we got there, we went in the wintertime, so it was nice and cold. We was hoping for snow, but we didn't see anything. But it was definitely a vibe. It was nice and cold, just how you would picture New York. It was just like that. And
You guys went in December, correct?
yeah, we went in December. We
That's,
performed at the New Amsterdam Theater. We
mm.
got to meet a lot of other dance companies that were there that performed.
But what
We
was this programming a part of? Like, were you guys there for a specific reason? I saw you
so
guys
we go
dancing in Times Square.
the program that they have is they get the dance companies from all over, and then they perform they pick grand places though. Like who can say, you performed on a Broadway stage. Like our name was on a marquee. Like that was so I cried like for a good hour because our name was on a marquee. High Rise Performing Arts name from Miami Gardens was in New York City in Times Square in Manhattan. Once we
So what was
performed,
the, I guess I'm trying to get you to explain like what was the program like, like who who was presenting it, and then
okay,
why
so
they invite you guys to come out.
World Class Vacations is the company, and they're funded by Disney. So it's a
Got it.
Disney program. So they are the ones that scout out talent to go and perform and do, all over the world. Like they have Nashville, they also do New York and Orlando. So when we went, we performed here at the Nashville Theater. It was beautiful. Then we performed on Times Square, which was amazing. And then we had the opportunity to also take a class with the Radio City Rockettes,
Wow.
which was an amazing opportunity as well. Then we're actually going to go again in 2024, and we're hoping to take more of our high risers, and we're going to go in the summer this time because then we get to perform in Times Square at night. So I think that'll be an amazing experience. So everybody be on the lookout for that. We're definitely excited about it.
So this company gets dancers from across the country, and they have these shows, and people pay a ticket to go to the show. Is it
Yeah,
or
so they were included. I know they has like family and friends that could come and things like that. And then yes, you do buy tickets to perform or attend, be in the area of the events that we do. So it's kind of like exclusive events that we do. And then they get people to come in and, along with our family and friends that's traveling with us that also, be in the audience.
so this is also, this is a part of that vacation clubs,
Mm-hmm.
their package for any travelers. Like, okay,
Correct.
you're in this vacation club, you get to go see this dance performance, and this is part of the activities that we're going to do here in Times Square or wherever
Right,
else.
like for them, it's vacation club. For us, it's like business. It's like this. We're here as the talent to perform, and for them, for the family and friends, it's like the vacation thing. Stay on Times Square. We were at the Marriott Marquis, like,
I stayed there. It's a really, really nice hotel.
real nice. I was like, yes, right in the middle of everything. So it
Yeah.
was an amazing experience, like from start to finish. Like I don't even think we got sleep the first night because we were so excited.
What have what have your students and even their parents have told you about the impact of these amazing opportunities that you've been able to give these young women, these Black girls, and young women? What have been some of the things that the parents or even your students have told you about like these experiences and what it meant for them?
Some of the well, I like to think of us like a high rise as a village. We are definitely been a part of many villages to help raise these children because it does take a village. It can't just be you or mom and dad. It does take others. I've had parents come to me like expressing how their child is going in the wrong crowd or they're seeing certain signs. Can we help with that? Or even if they don't ask for help, we offer the help because at the end of the day, we care about the well-being of each person that come, whether it's a parent or a child. We care about their well-being, not just if you're in practice, if you're dancing, if they're missing rehearsal, I'm like, everything all right? You know, y'all, you're okay. I've had one of my parents let me tell me, you know, I just appreciate you for checking on us. Like it's some things that, you know, my child really be going through, and I'm just happy that she has you to check on her. It's been times where we bought students lunch because they didn't have any, or you know, they were hungry, or if I'm getting lunch, I'm like, anybody want anything, you know, and their parents be like, there'd be times where she tell me she ate already because you don't went and bought her food. Like you just look out for them, and I just love that. The children, they just love how open I am and how open they can be with me. um I say it all the time with my little ones. I could be so hard on them in rehearsal, but at the end of rehearsal, they always hug me tighter. Always. I love you, Miss Brittany. They hug me a little tighter. And that lets me know with the younger ones that I am, you know, providing, I'm impacting them in some way. With my teens and my preteens, they just love me being open. They see me as Auntie Brittany, and I'm always there to communicate with them. I'm always there to be there for them, have their back, or be a mediator, or whatever I need to do to help them to understand that you have someone in your corner. You don't feel comfortable talking to your mom, come talk to me. And then we'll figure it out from there. If you don't feel, if you're scared about something, come talk to us. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a lot of times the feedback that we get is just us being encouraging and empowering to their children. And that's what we strive to do every single day.
I
Is
love
to
that. Did they say anything specific about the experience with Debbie Allen or the trip to New York?
Yes, I know for a fact Zaria's mom, she who actually like went and spent time quite a like a want to say a month up there, and she was just like this show biz is really opened her eyes to show business, and this is
Wow.
something that her daughter wants to do, and it just really showed her the night and day. Like she just was like, it's just so different than Miami. Like Miami moves at 60 miles per hour. We looking at Brightline with California. Like it's we be on the expressway and they be on Brightline, which is a great thing for her. She's seen how the schedules run. She's seen the she's just seen the ins and outs of how it goes down in California, which she appreciate us a lot because a lot of things that we trained her for, it helped her up
Mm,
there. Like
that
we hold them accountable for being on time, for not missing rehearsals, to communicate if you are missing rehearsals. So when she, you know, she was one of the ones that was always on time. I got a lot of feedback about that, that she was
wow.
always on time, always punctual. If there was changes in the schedule, she would be there, no complaints. So that's one of the things I was like,
How
dang,
old is she? Because I think I know who you're talking about. If this was my
yes,
classmate's daughter,
yes, yes,
Nisha,
yes,
Nisha's such a
yes.
sweetheart, and that's
Oh,
because that's the
yeah,
thing. A lot of our classmates have their daughters in your classes.
yeah.
So I see their pictures on Facebook or Instagram, and I'm like, wait, she's there too. It was like 5 little girls in New York at the same time, and I was like, wait, they all must be with High Rise.
Well, it's definitely cheers at High Rise. Like everybody knows your name. It's always somebody that knows somebody, especially with Deandra, who is our class, like
Oh,
your class.
DD.
She knows everybody, everybody. I'm like, she has to be the recruiter. She knows everybody at the company. So it's definitely, I strive to have our High Rise parents be like a family,
Mhm.
to just be a family, a community of us just empowering one another and being there for one another. Like we had an emotional class one day where I told them to, for instance, I asked them, what's the saddest thing that ever happened to you? And they would say what it was. And for instance, if it's a family member passing, okay, pretend like your family member is right there in front of you and this is your last dance. And like, what would you want to express to them? And
Mhm.
in that, there were a lot of trauma that our girls were going through. Some of the girls were going through a lot of trauma. And I can tell through their dancing and like everybody was in there crying. Everybody. It was it was a release. Everybody, even my 5-year-old was in there crying from the energy that was in the room. It was just a releasing, relaxing, meditating moment for them to dance. Some of, you know, some girls, you know, just even they just they've been through trauma, and to see them be able to know that they had a place in time where they could release, because a lot of times we grow up with that trauma, we don't deal with it, we don't release it. So to give them that moment and that opportunity to, you're not doing nothing right, nothing wrong, you're just releasing. and to see them free themselves of the tears and the hurt, that was a moment for me and for everybody in the room. And I know that that stayed with them for quite some time. And we even had some parents come back to us to say that, you know, it opened up conversations for them to have with their children, because a lot of time as adults, we mourn, but we don't think our children mourn, or we don't think they mourn the same way as us because they're little. And that don't be the case. Like, our children feel things, they go through things, and sometimes they don't know how to process it or deal with it or what to say. Sometimes they just want to cry. Sometimes they just want to scream. And that was what we did in that moment. And that stuck with me, and that will probably stick with me forever.
I'm glad that you're so intentional about self improvement, empowerment, having them be in touch with their emotions. And so they're getting so much more than these dance lessons. They're getting life lessons from you. So
Yes.
congratulations and thank you so much. Before I let you go, I want you to tell people how they can connect with you if they want to learn more about High Rise Performing Arts. Where should they go, and where should they be sending their little girls or their little boys to learn?
Yes. We are open to all boys and girls ages 3 all the way up to adults. We specialize in ballet, point, modern, contemporary, jazz, hip hop, competitive dancing, youth empowerment, drama, singing. Soon we'll be doing tap. We're actually, I haven't even announced this yet, but we're actually doing, we just added to our schedule majorette dancing and dance line
Oh,
training. So,
nice.
yeah, so we're actually going to assume, yes. So we're actually have some stuff coming up with that as well, as you know, because I used to be a diamond dancer, so I'm about to tap back in to my
Yeah.
diamond dancer Carol City roots. So we're actually offering that as well. I'm literally, after I'm done with this, I've got to post about it and let everybody know. But we're actually going to start that as well. We are located at 17325 Northwest 27th Ave, Suite 211, right in Miami Gardens, right in between the dental office and the funeral home. We are White Plaza in the middle,
Oh,
upstairs in
okay.
the back.
Okay,
And, you know, yes,
you said
upstairs
you
in the
have some
back.
news about that you guys are going to different locations as well.
Yes, we are actually opening up a Broward location. You get all the exclusives, Janey. Yes.
Exclusives.
Yeah, all the exclusive. Love it, but I wouldn't have it any other way.
Thank you.
So Broward location will be opening up soon. We will be starting classes in April for our Broward location. So I will be posting about that soon as well. And we are actually opening up a homeschool division for all of our homeschool students that need something to do, and for parents that need that break in between homeschooling.
Elective and get that energy out during.
Right. Anybody that needs electives and add that to your schedules, we will be adding a homeschool option as well. And just stay tuned, because we have a lot of things coming for our high risers, our world renowned, world famous high risers. We have an
They really
award.
are.
We have an awards banquet coming up. We're about to launch High Rise TV. So you're about to see a lot more of the high risers. Not so more me, not so much me, but definitely the high risers and everything that they have to offer. All high risers in every program, from the little babies to the actors and everything. If you want to register and bring your girls to the greatest place on earth, it's 305 467 0228. We also have a registration line at 954 859 8283. That's our text registration line. Once again, it's 305 467 0228 and 954 859 8283. We have an app in your Google store and your App Store, High Rise Performing Arts, in 4 words. So you can download our app. You can register that way as well.
Y'all high tech, high rise.
And always remember at the end of the day, the greatest performers in the world call themselves high risers. Period. So always remember.
Yes. I love this, love this, love this, loved your energy. We are a friend to High Rise Performing Arts. I want to be your official media partner. I would love to interview some of your girls and
Yes,
get
I would
their
love
firsthand experience about this. And when you guys have shows, please come back and tell us about it, so people in the community can know how to support you guys, or know when your new events are coming up. And again, Brittani, as always, thank you for supporting High Low News, but also thank you for the work that you're doing with our girls, transforming their lives and giving them experiences that I ain't had those type of experience as a little girl. So the Debbie
Hello.
Allen, LA, New York, Disney, NASCAR, like you are
Yes.
changing their lives and you're doing God's work. And I really appreciate you for what you're doing in our community. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you, Janey. And I want to say for the public as well, like you are doing amazing, phenomenal. You are doing phenomenal. I see you as, and I'm speaking over your life, like you are the female Tyler Perry of the entertainment world. Like from journalism to creating other content, creating other shows. Like I see you as like a blend between Tyler Perry, Issa Rae, and like I see it in Oprah. That's how I'm gonna tell you.
you.
Tyler Perry.
You
Issa
better
Rae.
preach.
That's
I,
how I'm gonna tell you in, and
I
I feel like you hit every avenue, and I just speak nothing but blessings over you and hello and everybody that come in contact with you, girl. Everything you do wins, and don't you think nothing different. And you got this, and we on our way to the top.
Yes. Oh,
Just
Brittany, look at you giving me the praise. I want to give you the praise. I couldn't even top that.
Listen,
Are you a part-time preacher too? Are you a motivational speaker part-time too? Because this girl, yeah, I felt that in my spirit. If you giving the little girls this, I see why they kicking and flipping and doing all this stuff. You don't told them they could be Superwoman.
I mean that with my whole heart. And I just can't wait to see everything else that you unveiled that hasn't even touched your mind yet. Like I'm telling you,
and I feel the same way for you. Like I've legit have been a fan watching these girls, and it's just been amazing to see this journey. So thank you. We're gonna love fest all the people gonna be like, all right, enough of this.
All right, y'all love each other. Great. Y'all support each other.
I know.
Nah, but anybody that is just looking for a way and don't know where to start, go for it. I
love that.
Just go for it. You don't have to have it all together. It don't have to always line up. Go for it. If you're waiting for the money to hit the account, you're gonna be waiting forever. Go for it. Don't live your life living in regret, and just go for it. And you never know where God gonna take you once you just take that leap of faith. You take that leap of faith, I promise He's gonna catch you and take you where your mind can't even reach. I promise you. Anyway.
I love it. Thank you guys again. Go to visit highrisepa.com for all the information that you need to know about registering for classes. And again, thank you, Brittany, for coming on our show. Y'all, thank you for watching another episode of Hello News Can We Talk podcast, where we talk to dope people in the community doing dope things. And Brittany is definitely amazingly dope. So guys, we'll see you next time.
Yes.